Known to the outside world as the last Shangri-La, a haven for a vibrant cultural heritage, a global hotspot for ecological diversity, a nation that seeks gross national happiness. This is Bhutan. In 2008, upon the will of the 4th Druk Gyalpo, Bhutan introduced parliamentary democracy.
Maso Jungi Lamlu, Dingdi da Lejim Sonigi Dunle, Sigi Lamlu Sapsu, Ngachara Gyakapta, Misigi Tadun, Zo Dundibe, Gelyong Satim Chambodi, Ngacha Jungi Katule Tsa Gendibera. Ngachara gyakabgi tadun chamchi zau tundibe so nanami.
Established in the early 1960s, the Royal Audit Authority is an independent auditing institution which is empowered by the Constitution of the Kingdom of Bhutan to ensure that the public resources are used most economically, efficiently and effectively.
To have a very successful democracy, I think it is very important that we curb the problem of corruption from our society. I think if you have corruption in our society, democracy will become very fragile. So in this light, I think the Royal Audit Authority has a very instrumental role to play for Bhutan to have a very successful transition into democracy.
Ngachire gyakapti mangche rinlu juda tindigi be gyakap nalut rangjingi junurda te nyugi junursuna lapchami jun sinidigi gyakapi junur danzi benidi geljung chijib onjinlu te ginku bombra pop invest nomela.
With the introduction of the parliamentary democracy in Bhutan, the Constitution of the Kingdom of Bhutan reiterated the independence of the RAA by recognizing it as a constitutional body. As required by the Constitution, the Audit Act of Bhutan 2006 had been passed by the 85th session of the National Assembly. As you are aware, the RAA provides independent and unbiased opinion to the king, country, and the people on the quality of the public sector and the stewardship of public funds. And this we do by auditing and reporting without fear, favor, or prejudice on the economy, efficiency, and effectiveness in the use of public resources. In my opinion, this summarizes the expectations of the society at large. Such expectations of the society has been very well enshrined both in the Constitution of the Kingdom of Bhutan and the Audit Act of Bhutan 2006.
Aging nana le nana. It's 10.2 meters. Clearing of siding, clearing of the.
One of the major shifts in the role of the Royal Audit Authority is performance auditing.
Performance audit is a pretty new concept introduced in the Royal Audit Authority. We have dedicated Performance Audit Division established since 2000, and this division is solely responsible to carry out performance audit across various agencies in the country. Performance audit was propounded by the International Organization of the Supreme Audit Institutions of the World on realizing the emphasis of the government's need to address adequately on the failure or success in terms of the achievements of the end objectives that was not adequately addressed through traditional financial and regulatory audit.
Right now we are conducting the performance audit of the Department of Roads. We are reviewing the 9th five-year plans for the Department of Roads, and this is my team.
Performance audit mainly deals with economy, efficiency, and effectiveness, or 3 E's of the function, operations, and the program.
Performance audit topics are selected on a certain set of criteria such as overall estimated audit impact, significance of the program or activity, cross-agencies and theme audits, risk to good management, etc. Once it's selected, it goes through a lot of discussion with the divisions and departments and is finally approved in the annual audit conference along with the tentative schedule.
This type of auditing will be very helpful for the engineers working at site, because what they are executing at site can be shown directly to the auditors.
Like any other audit, we follow 3 basic steps: planning, execution, and reporting. However, unlike other audits, we spend a lot of time in the planning, and good planning ensures that the audit is carried out in an economical, efficient, and effective manner. By the time we finish the planning, all auditors should be aware of the environment in which the entity or the activity is operating and thereby be able to set a required set of audit criteria. Based on the objectives set and criteria developed in the planning stage, we move to the field to execute the audit. Any aspect of the plan can be revised or changed during the execution. Achievement of the objectives and the impact created by any activity, project, or program are the major areas that we focus on. Therefore, we not only look at what has been done but also what has not been done to achieve the objectives or create the intended impacts.
The history of Royal Audit Authority is inextricably linked to the dreams of a young nation, a nation that aspired to emerge from self-imposed isolation and march towards becoming a modern nation-state.
Need for an auditing system in Bhutan came from people themselves. In fact, it was in 1961 in the 16th National Assembly where people proposed for an independent audit system in Bhutan. As we all know, the planned system in Bhutan, the planned development started from early 1960s. So as planned development started, the works for the government became more and more. There was need for accountability, there was need for various other aspects like the control systems. Therefore, the people felt for a need for a separate auditing system in Bhutan. So it is in this line that they proposed for a separate auditing system in the 16th National Assembly of Bhutan. Subsequently, in 1963, based on the proposal of the 16th National Assembly, a manual for financial accounting and services rules came up. And in that manual, it proposes for an audit unit.
From a very small beginning as an audit unit under the development wing in the 1960s, today the Royal Audit Authority is a constitutional body that derives its roles, authority and independence from the Constitution of the Kingdom of Bhutan. The scope and responsibility of the Royal Audit Authority is derived from the 6 royal decrees issued by His Majesty the 3rd and the 4th Drukgyalpos. The Royal Audit Authority conducts audits for all government agencies, government-owned or controlled corporations, financial institutions and non-governmental entities.
The Audit Act of Bhutan 2006 mandates the Royal Audit Authority to audit and report on the economy, efficiency and effectiveness in the use of public resources. And as far as reporting is concerned, basically we issue 2 types of reports: audit reports and annual audit report. Audit report pertains to individual ministries, departments, zonghaks, geogs, autonomous bodies, foreign assisted projects, NGOs, corporations and financial institutions. Now, if the audit reports contains serious offenses and malpractices, copies of the report could also be submitted to His Majesty the King, Prime Minister, Chairperson of the Royal Civil Service Commission and to the Anti-Corruption Commission. Secondly, when it comes to annual audit report, the annual audit report contains information on the performance of Royal Audit Authority during the past 1 year. It contains significant audit findings in the individual audit reports, as I have explained in the previous case, and the recommendations for the improvement of the agencies audited. Now, this annual audit report, it could also contains cases where the Royal Audit Authority did not receive acceptable responses from the agencies concerned. In a nutshell, the annual audit report is nothing but a summation of the individual audit reports issued during the past 1 year by the Royal Audit Authority. The annual audit report we submit to His Majesty the King, the Prime Minister and to the Parliament, and the copies could also be issued to Lengye Jungtsok, Head of Audited Agencies, Chairperson of Anti-Corruption Commission and to the Public Accounts Committee.
To promote transparency, the Royal Audit Authority has over the years made its reports public through the mass media and by posting them on its website. Such publications have contributed in creating awareness of the extent of irregularities in the use of public resources and the extent of corruption in the society.
Audit clearance is one of the unique features of the Royal Audit Authority as a supreme audit institution of Bhutan. Such system is not there in any other audit institutions in other countries, and as such, they appreciate this system as one of the instruments of promoting accountability and transparency in the system. The audit clearance is issued for the purpose of promotion, for the purpose of training, election, re-election, secondment, service regularization, for the purpose of processing retirement benefits at the time of resignation for the civil servants. And this audit clearance can be availed from our regional offices in Samjonghar, Bumthang, Chirang for civil servants below grade 6, for grade 6 and below, and for election and other purposes too.
The Auditor General provides leadership to the organization and as a Chief Executive Officer engages in the day-to-day management of the Royal Audit Authority. This is an Executive Committee meeting. The Executive Committee consists of the Auditor General, who is the chairperson, and all the Deputy Auditors General. A Division Chief serves as the Secretary to the committee. As the highest decision-making body of the Royal Audit Authority, the Executive Committee takes decisions on all the major and strategic issues. The functions of the authority are carried out by three departments: the Department of Performance and Thematic Audit, Department of Follow-up, Regions and Human Resource Management, and the Department of Sectoral Audit. Each of the department is supported by several divisions and sections. The Royal Audit Authority covers the entire country through its 4 regional offices.
We have 4 regional offices located in Chirang, Samlujongkar, Bhutan and West. They are all headed by the Assistant Auditor General, and they are directly responsible to the Department of Follow-up, Regions and Human Resource Management.
The Royal Audit Authority, RAA, as an apex audit institution of Bhutan, not only plays an important role within the country in the areas of enhancing accountability and promoting good governance, it also plays an active role in the international arena. The RAA became the member of the International Organization of Supreme Audit Institution in 1980s, and later in 2001, RAA became a member of the Asian Organization of Supreme Audit Institution, SOSI. Then in 2003, RAA was one of the governing board member for a period of 3 years. Both INTOSAI and SOSI have a General Assembly once every 3 years, and we actively participate in the deliberations on various professional topics. The RAA has a very good institutional linkage with the Supreme Audit Institution of India. The RAA also have a very strong relationship with the Board of Audit, Japan, Auditor General Office of Malaysia, Pakistan, National Audit Office, UK, Government Accountability Office, USA, and many other Supreme Audit institutions in other countries.
The changes and development in the society have brought about voluminous transactions and complexities. These changes put a lot of pressure on the auditors in terms of capacity, knowledge, skills, integrity, and professional ethics. It is therefore imperative that every auditor is prepared at all times with the right skills, right attitude, and right conduct to discharge their duties professionally. Besides being an auditor, Tashi is a certified INTOSAI training specialist. One of his primary jobs is to train other auditors in Asia and other parts of the world.
The continuous professional development policy of the Royal Audit Authority recognizes that the contribution of each and every staff, each and every auditor, including all the support staff, is vital towards the achievement of the goals of the Royal Audit Authority. Therefore, it becomes the responsibility of the Royal Audit Authority to provide them with the opportunity for their continuous professional development. In line with this, we have several planned ex-country trainings in the 9th 5-year plan, which we have already executed, and likewise we also have similar plans for the 10th 5-year plan. But the focus of the Royal Audit Authority is more on the in-house training, simply because they are firstly very less expensive compared to the ex-country trainings, and at the same time they are also effective because we can tailor our requirements tailor the training requirements based on the needs of every auditor. So that's why we have made a system whereby the auditor, in order to move to a higher level, they have to undergo certain courses. And the other interesting aspect of the CPDP is we in audit now, we have made it a compulsory for every auditor, for all the auditors, to undergo a minimum of 60 hours of training in a year.
With the enactment of the Audit Act of Bhutan 2006, the RAA has now clearer mandates and responsibilities. The Act provides requisite organizational, functional, and financial independence to enable it to discharge its constitutional responsibilities. In preparing for the same and in line with the Audit Act of Bhutan 2006, the RAA has already undertaken several initiatives besides preparing the strategic plan covering the next 5 years. All such initiatives and activities are directed towards achieving our vision and mission. Our vision being a premier audit institution that promotes value for money in government operations and contribute towards its governance. Moving towards this vision, we have set our mission as to audit without fear, favor, or prejudice on the prudent and effective use of public resources, and report to the Parliament and stakeholders for enhancing transparency and accountability in the government.
The auditors conduct their duties of auditing without fear, favor, and prejudice. Every auditor is administered the oath of good conduct, ethics, and secrecy. The auditors abide by 16 principles which guide the professional conduct of duties and promote integrity and ethics.
I shall seek to be generous and hospitable towards others in right speech, action, and behavior.
I will not accept any financial gains or be obligated to any individual or organization which will lead me to act unethically in my duties and responsibilities.
I will be transparent in my decisions and actions, and I will not withhold any information which is in the interest of public.
I shall be objective and impartial in all works conducted by me, particularly reports, which should be objective and accurate.